Hello. As always, I would ask you to take a nice textured breath. Inhale and make the ah sound. Ah. Let the breathing come back to normal. Eyes open. Hello. Excuse me. Welcome. Welcome to Touching the Edge. My name is Drake. And we are here, and again, in preparation for the election, but really, the election is really setting the stage for beyond. And that's what it's really about. And that's really what our 40-day practice is about. And so today, I want to get together with you and talk about something that I find absolutely fascinating, although I don't claim to really understand it. Although it's okay that I don't understand it, because I don't really think anyone understands it. You know, it comes to that sort of strain throughout all things. Aldous Huxley called it perennial philosophy. It's that sort of common strain through every religion. There's something that connects us all together. You know, it's that relationship to kindness. You know, it's just my perception that kindness is what it's all about. Kin, to be of like kind. We are all together. So if you would, sit up tall, point to yourself. By the way, most people around the world, if you ask them to point to themselves, they point right here. Most people don't point here. So this is the heart. This is the heart of the matter. There's something about this space, the center of the chest, not the side, but the center, that's extremely important. It's the heart. Now, the energetic heart. Now, imagine yourself being pointed at. Say someone was above your home and they were pointing where you are. Where would they? They'd be pointing at your house. If they're further up, they would be pointing at the city or the community that you live in. Further up still, they'd be pointing at the planet Earth, all the way out to the solar system and beyond, the Milky Way. If they were pointing at you, they'd always be pointing there, pointing to where you are. But it's not just your body. It's not just this physicality. It's you as a whole. One of the elements I'm fascinated by are fractals. These mathematical indicators that tell us and lead us. And by the way, I don't know much about it, but at the same time, I'm fascinated by it because it feels so right. It feels so in flow with what I've studied, all the way from Buddhism to, Toltec Indian philosophical backgrounds, all the way through, elements as above, so below, alchemy. So it all seems to point to these elements of fractals, as above, so below. And we talk about that. The swirl down in the drain is representative of the swirl of the Milky Way. A fractal is one of these elements, a geometric shape, that no matter how close you get to it, as you go into it, what you end up finding is the entirety of it. Every bit that you zoom in on, as you get closer to it, all of a sudden you get an image of the whole. As above, so below, and so below as above. And one of the reasons why I personally think this is important is that it really speaks to the unity of all things. This idea, if you are of a religious sort of background, that God made humankind in its own image. It's a fractal, as above, so below. It's recognizing that each of us is representative of all of us. It's taking responsibility for our actions as a human family. So to me, this is an opportunity. As we realize this, we can step out of demonization, because when you demonize someone else, you're just demonizing yourself. And by the way, this fracturing happens internally. It happens, there's an old saying, I fight my brother unless our cousin is there. We fight our cousin unless the neighbor is there. We fight our neighbor unless someone from the next town is there, and so on and so on and so on. But when you bring it back, it ends up with us in our relationship with ourselves, where we end up at war with ourselves. We don't even have unity in ourselves unless we have a common enemy. To me, this whole time that we're in is about understanding that we as individuals have to step out of that mindset, even as we set limits, even as we say that certain behaviors are not okay with us. So this is the element of what it means to some degree of a fractal. So let's do a quick practice. You know, we haven't done any practices for a while, so let's do a quick practice together so we can kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about. So sitting up tall, breathing. Let's do the rhythm practice. Now this practice is really wonderful for dealing, you know, for helping to soothe yourself when you can't sleep at night. It's really great for people who have a lot of trauma in their background. It's really great for people who are delusional. You don't have to assault the castle of their belief structure. You can come around and help to diffuse things from another direction. So I'm sitting up tall, breathing nice and easily. Let's find the breath and just begin with that slow breath in and out. Just get into that, breathing through the stomach, into the abdomen, through the rib cage, all the way into the chest. Chest swallow, squeeze lightly, just slow rhythmic breath. And at the same time, as you're doing these slow rhythmic breaths, begin to beat out a rhythm with your hands. So here we go, breathing slowly and easily. And at the same time, chest is up. Keep that rhythm with the hands, but center your attention on the breath. Slow breaths in and out. Now drop the speed of the rhythm of the hands by 1/4. So you're now going 3/4 speed. Breathing slowly in and out. Now down to half speed. Full slow breaths, now to 1/4 speed. Slow it down even further, breathing slowly and easily. Chest up, inhale. Side out. To breathe and come back to normal. Let's just take 3 breaths. Take a nice breath in. Pause. Exhale out. Squeeze the stomach. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Pause. Exhale it out. 1 more breath. Inhale. Pause. Exhale it out. Breathing in. Ah sound. Ah. Let the breathing come back to normal. And just for a moment, anytime you do a practice, just for a moment, feel the aftermath, the afterglow of the practice. Be still, breathe. Notice that peacefulness in your heart and mind. Eyes open. Thank you. How'd that go for you? Did you enjoy that? What we experience when we can get into that state of peace is the essence, in my perception, of that fractal that we're describing. It's not different from person to person. Peace is peace. If peace is in your heart, it's the same peace as in another person's heart from a whole different background. So let's be aware of that. And let's be aware of the importance of us as individuals. How you act matters. Here we go. So Lotus Sutra makes a suggestion that we should go to the magic city every day, at least once a day. And the magic city is immersive practice. When you do practice so overwhelming to you that you can't hold on to where the poles are at the moment. Let's step up, you and I. You and I can be part of making a great difference. You know, that one drop of food coloring that changes the whole glass to that next color, purple. I bring my hands in the prayer position and I bow to you. Namaste. Thanks for hanging out.